Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is your place for all things stocks and crypto. From beginner tips to expert picks. Use this as fuel for your investing journey, because when you're in the know, your money will grow. All views expressed by speakers on the Bean Pod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the Bean Pod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is Shane, aka the Jolly Green Investor.
And this is Josh, the Nifty Investor.
Today we're going to be talking about crypto versus stocks.
Stonks. Crypto and stonks.
I think this is going to be a good one for people that have just gotten into investing, people that listen to our videos or in the Discord, or they know they want to get into investing. They know about crypto. They know about stocks. They just don't know what the difference is. What should they do? Should they have both? Should they focus on one?
Which one do you choose?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a good one for beginners, intermediates, people that maybe are only in stocks and are kind of getting the crypto tickle, people that are only in crypto and maybe maybe I should get into stocks.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a good one for people to learn the other side that maybe they don't know anything about.
Yeah. You invest in both, obviously.
Yep.
Right. Which one did you get involved in first? Like, were you in stocks for a while? Were you in crypto first? Like,
it was kind of like at the same time. Like,
okay.
I really started becoming, I would say, an investor around 2018.
Right.
Like, an active investor. So 2018 was the first time that as we've discussed previously, the first time I started buying crypto was in 2018. The first time I really started trading stocks, also in 2018.
Right.
So it was a good timing for crypto, because a lot of the crypto that I bought in 2018, it's multiplied by insane amounts since then. And then on the other hand, I got in stocks, and we've talked about this previously, at the top of the cannabis stock boom, right, and became a gigantic bag holder.
That's right.
So 2018 was really the genesis moment for me in both crypto and stocks. It was right around the same time. It was kind of just like, you're starting to grow up a little bit, more money, and you just want to, learn about investing. And I kind of did both at the same time. What about you?
A few penny stocks back in 2012, 2011, something like that.
Yeah, right.
A friend of a friend knew somebody, and I lost all that money.
Yep. Hey, it's a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
You didn't lose it. You learned.
Yeah. And I think it's still, I think it's still in my account, and I can't sell it, but I can still see this negative, 9.
A stain.
It sucks. It's negative 99.5% or something.
You know what that is? It's a good reminder.
It's an excellent reminder.
Josh, this is a reminder for you. You fucked up.
Yeah.
You bought these terrible penny stocks. Yeah. Now go buy some more.
And then crypto and stocks. Yeah, I'd say about the same time. Got in on the cannabis before the top.
Yeah.
Like, I got at the very beginning. And then I'd say the crypto was around the same time, end of 2016, end of 2017. Saw a huge increase in my Ethereum and Bitcoin holdings, and then had that huge sell-off.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, maybe this is fake. This internet money, whatever this thing is, I don't know.
The fear got to you.
Yeah. So I got rid of some of my Bitcoin, but held my Ethereum.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we are now, still learning the whole thing. You have to be a lifelong learner in both, I think.
For sure.
There's always going to be cycles. There's always going to be new information, technology. There's always an opportunity. So yeah, I mean, but there is a clear difference. Like the stock market it's 5 days a week. It only trades between certain hours of the day, whereas crypto is 365. It almost creates more of an addiction in a way.
100%.
Like you can turn off stocks. They take holidays and stuff.
Man, the weekend, you just chill. You don't have to look at your portfolio. Nothing happens, man. Crypto, you miss a day, shit.
Yeah, what's going on?
Down 50%.
Yeah.
I think we can both probably say the same thing, that we, over the past 3 years in general, we've both been more focused on stocks. I mean, we used to talk about stocks all the time, and, then this new crypto bull run started last year, and, our focus just, naturally, that's where the money was flowing. So we focused a lot more on crypto. When I started my TikTok account, I was only posting stock videos because at that moment, crypto videos weren't getting any engagement. I would make a video about Bitcoin in early 2021, even as, even as the Bitcoin price was increasing, the general public and the interest still wasn't there. I would make a video about Bitcoin and no one would like it. So I'm like, okay, well, I won't make any more of those videos. I would make videos about electric vehicle stocks, penny stocks, and they would fly.
Yeah.
And then gradually, you know, February, March, as the bull market really started to pump, people wanted to learn about it. And then meme coin season, and then everyone wanted to get into it. And then, you know, our channels over time have now become more crypto focused. We still try to do stock content, but it's a balance of where the public interest is, where our interest is.
And the stock market's been, I mean, besides a few, you know, Apple and Facebook, or, you know, there's a few top stocks that always just seem to do well. But when everything, when the stock market is going down, when we're talking about, you know, lower cap type of stocks or EV plays, like the electric vehicle plays, they like boomed and then they seem to have busted.
Oh yeah.
Why are we going to be talking about something that's going down? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to talk about the stuff that's hot. And if there's eyes on it, it's probably going to do well.
For sure.
So we have to adjust our content.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, I think we've both learned a ton about crypto in the last 12 months, as a lot of people have.
That's crazy, man. Just thinking back, like that was less than a year ago. You're talking about crypto and like people are not even tuning in.
No. And now it's like the only thing. And you know, we always talk about this, 12 months. It's so much can happen in a year. You know, we're sitting here and crypto's, you know, not doing super well. 12 months ago, it was sitting at the same levels and everyone's in extreme euphoria.
Yeah.
12 months from now, what is it going to be like? It could be in the pits, or it could be 3 times as high.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you think about that, and then now going back to stocks. So, all right, let's compare stocks and crypto. Crypto, you can see extreme euphoria, fear, panic. Stocks says the same thing, but not quite to the same degree, right?
It almost seems slower. It's like,
it's less volatile.
well, it seems like when a stock runs, you know, for example, I made a little blurb about this company, Empower Clinics, right when all the testing kits were being made mandatory. They have Kai Medical, you know, big for testing. This company's opening clinics. I think it's gone up like 63% over the past month and a bit.
Right.
It's been a really gradual, you know, it's 5 to 10% per day.
Yep.
Which is beautiful. You know, it's slow, it's steady. But with crypto, you can get 63% in a day.
100%.
Or 2 days.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
crypto, you know, it's a much younger asset class.
Yeah.
Just been born. Bitcoin started in 2009 or something.
Yeah.
The stock market's been around since the 1600s.
That's right.
You know, it's multiple hundreds of years old. It's a very sophisticated market with thousands of moving pieces.
Regulation,
you know, it's a worldwide thing with regulations, trillions and trillions of dollars in it. The entire crypto market cap is a fraction of that. It's, you know, $1 trillion or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's 3 trillion right now.
3 trillion total, and Bitcoin's around $1 trillion.
Yeah.
So while there are many parallels between the two, you really just have to put it in perspective, zooming out again, is that the birth of a new asset class, it's always going to be more volatile, which can be bigger gains, but much quicker losses. So that's kind of, you know, depending on what your investor profile is and how you want to do it, that's where you should split your funds between stocks and crypto, right?
Yeah.
So if someone came to you today, you know, $10,000, they want to get into stocks and crypto, you know, what would you kind of say to them? Should they do both? Are they the same? Are they different? You know, how would you frame it?
Well, right now stocks are taking an absolute beating.
So a good time to buy?
I think it does appear that way. I mean, but there's so many, depends on what you're buying. You know, you can look at something like Square, which now trades under Block, I believe.
Yep.
You know, that thing is just taking an absolute beat down, but it seemed like they have such a bright future ahead of them. You know, Jack Dorsey leading that organization, you know, the adoption of blockchain technology. I see something like that maybe being a great place to put some money in right now.
I agree 100%.
So there's going to be some really good stocks, some blue chip stocks that I would probably allocate some of that $10,000 to.
For sure.
And at the same time, at time of recording, the crypto market is also taking a bit of a beating. So this is also a really good time where I would put some money into crypto as well. I think I would split it. I think I would do a 50-50 split. You know, when the pandemic hit, there's so many, you know, airline stocks took a massive beating. You know, with the Omicron, some people are saying, you know, in South Africa, for example, who had Omicron first, where it originated, are saying that this could potentially signal the end of the pandemic.
Right.
Right. So if that's the case, and if we start to learn to live with COVID and we're not necessarily getting any bigger strains, this could be a great time to maybe put some money into the airline stocks.
Right.
People are going to want to travel again, assuming they can get the staff. There's a whole different story. But, that might be a safe place to put some cash as well, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. I think what I would do is I would look at the person, see what time they're at in their life.
Of course.
And, if you're younger, and in general, if you're younger, you have more to learn, you can take more risks because you have more years ahead of you to earn back that money if you do lose it.
Yeah.
So for a younger, riskier person that's getting into it, I would say maybe skew a little bit more towards crypto right now because higher risk, high reward. Yes, you can lose the money, but if you're 20 and you're putting in $5,000, $10,000, I would say, 75% crypto, 25%, or like 60-40.
Yeah.
Just because I think there's more to gain in crypto right now. But you do have to be more active in trading in crypto, right? Because as we know, there's the big time bear markets and everything can draw down on a news article 50%. Stocks, a bad article comes out about COVID, not the start, that was, like a black swan event, but, the rise of Omicron, Amazon and Google and SPY as a market as a whole might go down 10, 15, 20%. It's not going to be the 80% that crypto has. So
my issue with the stocks though is it's the analysts. Crypto doesn't really have the analysts yet.
the buy targets, price target, like
all
that,
these things where, so for example, Tesla says they have X amount of factories, they're producing X amount of cars based off of their earnings report. And then the analysts go, okay, well they should sell, their top line should be this and their bottom line should be that. Then they come out and they absolutely smash it, but they just missed estimates by a fraction.
Right.
Stock tanks, 20%. It's like all because the analysts you guys are wrong, if anything. Like just
So,
because
like,
you're a professional and you kind of guesstimated it wrong. Like
so it's the quarterly earning reports,
I hate that.
right?
I hate the fact that can happen with the stock. You don't get that with crypto at the moment.
No, you don't. There's other things that can cause flash crashes and stuff, but it's like, and this goes back to, again, what kind of investor are you? So are you a long-term investor or are you a short-term investor trader? So for something like that, when a bad earnings report comes out on a company that is performing well and the stock tanks, that's a buy opportunity.
It's a good opportunity,
right?
yes.
If you're a long-term holder of Tesla and you bought 3 years ago or you're buying now and plan to hold 20 years, you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe I'll buy more. Like I'm
yeah.
holding Tesla for the next 30 years. If it goes down 10%, what do I care? Right.
Yeah.
So that's, again, if someone comes to you and say stocks versus crypto, are you investing for the next year? Well, if you want to make significant returns over the next year, I'd probably say skew more towards crypto.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're coming to me with 100K, 200K, whatever,
For 10 years.
20 year investment,
yeah.
okay, well, maybe now 75% stocks because, and if you're a passive investor, how often do you want to look at your portfolio? How often do you want to make trades? If you say, I want to look at it 4 times a day and make a trade every day, well, then maybe you're more likely to get into crypto because it lends itself to that. But stocks, I mean, look, you can do that with stocks too, of course.
Yeah.
But in general, you can park your money in an Amazon, in a Google, in a Meta, Facebook. Just leave it. Those companies will perform well. Those are the future of tech. Leave it for 20 years. Just buy the dips every couple of months.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's a way to compound your money and build wealth.
Yeah.
Crypto, it's much more volatile. It requires more attention. Even Bitcoin, the most stable asset there is in crypto, goes down 30-40% within a month.
Yeah. But again, it does depend on your time frame.
Yeah.
Like we talked about in one of our previous episodes, it's the whales who are accumulating for generational wealth. It's for, the long term. Like
Right.
I haven't really sold any of my Ethereum from when I first started buying it back in 2016, 2017. I'm still holding a very decent portion of Ethereum, and I could trade it. I could, you know what I mean? Look for the next, but I bought that knowing that, it's smart contracts. This is going to be the way of the future, blah, 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 back in the day. And I've just held it. And that has worked out well for me now. And it's been 5 years now?
Yep.
So I don't have to be too active with that one. It depends on the crypto you're getting into. Maybe you need to be a bit more active and pay attention to the trends. When when Facebook said it's going into the metaverse,
Right.
a project like Decentraland and Mana, blasted up. Like how much? How much did it go up?
I think it went up 2x, 3x.
Like
maybe?
that was instantly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't know. The thing I like about with crypto is it gives everybody the access to make good money. You get these whitelist spots.
Yeah.
You essentially get to be a venture capitalist or you see something hitting the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. It's an IPO. Big, rich people have already got in so early. We don't have that access. We don't get that opportunity. With crypto, you do have that chance. You can get in on projects early, partly because the regulations are not there yet. So take advantage of it now because it probably will come. But, we can get a whitelist spot and get in at 0.07 cents. And then when it goes public, it's at $2. We've already 200x our money.
Right. So when you're comparing the stock market to crypto, the stock market doesn't give the retail investor access to IPOs, right?
That's right.
But crypto, you can get in via launch pads like DAOmaker or whatever. You can get in at the initial offering, the IDO. So you actually have access to those 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x gains. Victoria VR just did a 200x. You can't get that in the stock market.
That's
so there's
right.
another advantage for retail investors for crypto.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And another parallel that I was just thinking about between the stock market and crypto, we talk about this all the time. So the S&P 500, right? It's the 500 most valuable companies. That leads the market. The S&P dips, growth stocks are going to get hammered. The parallel for crypto is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the S&P. Bitcoin is SPY. So when Bitcoin dips, the altcoins follow. So if you're looking for parallels between the two markets, Bitcoin is the market leader, just like SPY, right? And you can invest in the S&P 500, just keep putting money in, it's going to go over time. You can do the same with Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good parallel as well, I think. For people, it's like, I know about crypto, but I don't want to just, so many projects, well, you can just invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's like in buying SPY.
It is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Another comparison I was looking at too was, you get the roadmap of these crypto projects. You can see the max supply. You can see how much of the supply is in circulation. So let's say Bitcoin is like 21 million, 19 million is currently in supply. That's not going to change. It's written into the contract. It is what it is. With a company, they can have X amount of shares. Boom, they dilute. Next thing you know, the stock goes down because they just diluted. It's not written into a contract, right? So I like the transparency of the crypto side of things too. You don't just have a CEO coming out, boom, we're diluting, boom. You know what I mean? I like that what's in circulation. I like that.
Everything on the blockchain, it's all trackable. You can see who's trading. It's very publicly accessible to see who's selling, who's buying. Yeah. These things are tracked, right? Stock market's a little shadier like that.
Yeah, it's a transparency that we get. And I don't blame them. Look, they've been running the stock market for many, many years now. They can do things behind the scenes. Greed it's a funny thing. I could see these people I don't blame them. It's human psychology. They found a way to manipulate. They're going to manipulate it. And they're trying to, you can't track where a dollar bill goes. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you can track everything on the blockchain.
Absolutely.
The transparency it's different.
It definitely attracts me to crypto. Yeah. Another interesting comparison between stocks and crypto is how companies are valued, right? Okay. So a traditional company on the stock market is valued on, usually earnings of revenue, earnings of profit, multiples, growth prospects, all that kind of stuff. Headwinds, tailwinds from the industry. How are crypto companies valued? What is the revenue generated from Ethereum, right? Like why does Bitcoin have $1 trillion market cap? Why does Solana have, whatever billion it's at? It's based on just market conditions, right? Buyers and sellers. There's no analyst, as you said, coming out and saying, well, the company of Solana generated 333 million. Their expenses were 100 million. We see this company. It's not like that at all. It's much more arbitrary, and that's why it's more volatile because it's not based on anything concrete at the moment. It's based on, a crypto company does their initial launch. Their mainnet's not being launched for 3 years. Yeah. It's completely hype-based, right?
It's all hype-based.
It's hype-based. It's community-based. It's roadmap-based. It's team-based. Really, it's all just a bunch of magic.
It really is. You can't just walk into an Ethereum store.
It's all magic internet money. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like when you compare a valuation, take a stock, I don't know one offhand, that's worth $1 trillion. And then you compare it to Bitcoin. Well, how do you compare a company that has stores generating revenue from selling computers to a digital store of wealth or whatever you think Bitcoin is? Yeah. So when you're looking at valuations of stocks and making buying decisions based on, I think their profit is going to increase 3 times this year while they're going to drive their expenses down using economies of scale. When you're looking at the valuation of Cardano versus Solana, It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's almost easier because it's like, okay, they're both smart contracts and this market cap is here and this market cap is here. So realistically, if Cardano starts to see the same, oh, look, you can see their adoption's increasing. So if it keeps on that pace, it should realistically in market cap match Solana versus, you have all these different sectors in the stock market. So you have the price to earning ratio. You can have a 100 price to earning ratio in one sector, but that's totally irrelevant in another sector where like a 2 is super high. You know what I mean? So you almost need to like do your research in each stock sector to understand the price to earnings ratio. So there's different, it's more complex, it seems.
Then you also have companies like Nikola or Rivian coming out. It's like, all right, $100 billion valuation, sales, revenue, 0. So it's like basically it's all hype based. You do get stocks that are hype based because they're companies that really haven't launched yet. But in general, it's more complicated, but it also makes more sense valuing a company that has revenue and expenses and employees and
for sure,
all that kind of stuff. So
definitely.
like, valuing a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, it's as you said, it's adoption. It's all about adoption. Are people using it? But then, how do you value a crypto company that their mainnet is 3 years off?
I don't know. It's
super hard.
almost like what we all create in our minds. It's like, oh wow, this is Web3, this is DeFi, this is so new. This must be something that's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we all just believe it. This narrative, the narratives attract the attention, and the attention drives the price. Right. Like that's just how it goes.
So then another thing that what I want to talk about in stock versus crypto is manipulation and the buy the rumors, sell the news phenomena, right? So in both markets, those things both exist. So we always talk about, the Bitcoin whales are manipulating the market. Stock market has that too. Yeah. There's a lot of manipulation that goes on, especially with like lower cap and penny stocks and stuff like that. But that these multi-billion-dollar hedge funds and stuff, like they're selling the stock to drive the price down just like they do. And then buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Yeah. There's, a rumor that this company is going to do this amazing thing and the stock price is ripping. And as soon as the company confirms that rumor, the stock price tanks. And if you think about it logically, if they confirm the rumor that everyone thinks it's amazing, it's okay. It's going to happen. The stock price should continue to fly, but it tanks. So does that happen in crypto? Less, more? What do you think?
Okay, so I guess when Facebook changed when Facebook changed its name to Meta and it went to the metaverse, was that anticipated?
I feel like the insiders, there probably was some insider, I feel like there were.
But were we hearing much about it? Do you remember hearing much?
No, I don't really hear that. That was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, so because I saw, Decentraland and Sandbox and all those metaverse plays, they skyrocketed instantly on the news. But it's almost like the news hit so sudden that's what sparked it. There was no lead up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where are we seeing lead up right now? I'm trying to think of an example in a crypto project.
I feel like you don't see it nearly as much in crypto. One, because it's so much smaller of an industry on a global scale. So like, public companies are covered across the world. Every little tiny thing, every rumor is built out. Crypto, as much as big as we think it is in our circles, because we look at it every day, it's still not nearly as big. There's not as much media coverage on crypto. It's super niche. Most of the world doesn't know anything about it, right? So rumors can fly way under the radar in crypto. So I think there's a lot less of the rumors buying. Like, I think that if Visa is rumored to be, integrating Solana or something like that maybe you would hear about, but I think a lot of the time it just drops out of nowhere.
Yeah, I haven't really seen. If we're struggling to recall a situation where the rumor has, kind of driven a price up, and then when it happened, it sold off. It means that hasn't really happened.
Not nearly as much. I'm sure there are examples. Sure. People can comment below if you remember something like that. One that I could think of is like the Bitcoin ETFs. There's always rumors of the Bitcoin ETFs being approved, right? And like, if I remember when that first one came out last year, there was like, it's going to happen, and then it happened. And I don't know if there was it wasn't really a sell the news. I don't even know if there was really a buy the rumor. So it's something that frustrates me in the stock market all the time.
Oh man, it dings me.
The one that I remember the most about last year was Lucid Motors. the confirmation of them going public via SPAC, via CCIV.
Yeah.
And we were posting about that all the time. CCIV, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. CCIV stock flew. It went from like 10 to like 70. And then literally the day it got confirmed. And this is the thing that pisses me off about stocks. All that news comes after hours.
Yeah, it does. And then nobody has access except for the rich people who are paying for their freaking.
So the news drops when the stock market is closed, and then by the time the stock market opens the next day, the whales have already tanked the price, and you're down from 70 to 30.
There's nothing you can do. You're sleepless night. Like you're waiting for the stock. Where you're like,
Yeah.
how much is it going to open down? Like,
So that's really annoying, and that brings us back to what we were talking about before. The stock market closes and opens every day, and there's pre-market trading and after-hours trading, which you can only do if you are a large net worth individual or a hedge fund or a venture capital firm, whatever it is. Crypto doesn't have that. So there's no time where the rich people get to control the markets while everyone waits to see what they do. It's always open.
yeah,
I've gotten fucked so many times in pre-market and after-hour trading in the stock market, right? And you just sit there and you're just like, what do I do?
That's bullshit.
Crypto doesn't have that. So I like that about crypto.
Yeah, totally.
It's just like,
It appears to be a more even playing field.
it is definitely.
Even though it is still everything's manipulated.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but everything is manipulated.
Yeah.
Like it's a coordinated attack when it comes to the crypto prices. There's inner workings behind the scenes when it comes to the stocks. Like there's nothing we can do about it.
No, everything's manipulated. I mean, look, it's. I think in general, it's good to learn about crypto and stocks, learn the differences, learn the similarities. When you're doing research on a company, we always say do your own research. When you're researching a company or a crypto, it's really the same skills that you're using. You're reading about the company, the team, how they've done in the past, what their roadmap is, what they're planning on launching in the next year, what sector of the world are they operating in? If it's stocks, are they in the electric vehicle or energy industry? If it's crypto, is it a Solana-based layer 1? Is it an exchange? Is it an NFT project? You're doing the same research.
Yeah.
So if you hone those research skills from crypto, you can take them to stocks.
I find you almost have to be way more ahead of the game when it comes to stocks. It's like prices already put in 8 months in advance.
Right, priced in.
It's priced in.
Yeah.
The price. It's the event that is going to occur. Like it's winter now. So if you're thinking, let's say, what's really going to sell in the summer? What are people going to be buying? Barbecues and all these.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a Broil King stock or something,
Yep.
that's already priced in. It's 8 months from now, right? You need to get on. You almost need to start thinking for the next winter to start buying those stocks,
Right.
Getting the natural gas, like what's heating the home, stuff like that.
And that comes with a more sophisticated market, right? Because there's so many more participants in the market, so much more money, so much more coverage, news. Everything's planned much more in the future, right?
Yeah.
So mature market, much harder to really understand and get ahead of.
Yeah.
New market, volatile market, a lot more opportunity, crazy up and down, but you can get in and find something really quickly that will pump.
It's like getting early to the race, and trying to leave before anybody else does.
For sure.
Is essentially what you're trying to do, I guess.
Yep, I'd say so. I mean, look, in general, I think it comes down to what your investment thesis is, where you're at in your life, how much money you're investing. There's a lot of differences and parallels between the two. I think it's good to learn about both because, if you're going to be an investor for a long-term period of your life, you need to learn, about the stock market, about crypto. I would caution against just focusing on one forever because crypto is going to keep getting bigger. The stock market will always be there. It's never going to go away. Neither is crypto. So I think it's good to learn about both. I mean, it is where the world is going. They're controlled by the big companies in the stock market and now these new blockchain decentralized companies.
Yeah. There's different cycles for different sectors, different regulations that come out of the Senate or out of, the government. And you just need to pay attention to both those aspects.
Good thing about it, we post about stocks and crypto in the Beanstalk Discord.
Yeah.
We're posting about stocks, penny stocks, green energy stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, everything in one Discord. So if you want to learn about stocks or crypto, best place to start, the Discord.
Yeah, hop on in. And there's different ways of approaching it too. There's a lot of really good, smart people in our Discord. Some people really like a technical approach. Some people like to look at the macros. Some people try to do it by the day. Some people swing trade.
For sure.
There's so many different approaches. These are just some of the differences and the way that we approach it, you know, we're trying to find things a bit earlier than, you know, the average person that we think down the line could be of use, you know, to the overall public.
For sure. There's a lot to check out between stocks and crypto. It is a full-time job.
It's full-time.
We do our best to keep you guys updated, but yeah, look, we're excited to keep you educated in both sectors.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Make sure you tune into the next episode.
It's going to be a banger.
See you later.